If you dehydrate the hydroxide with carbon monoxide, you kill the atom. It isn't white now, it's jet black. You heat it up under under carbon monoxide, you dehydrate it under carbon monoxide, you cool it under carbon monoxide, and then you shut the carbon monoxide off when it's cool. Take the sample out and it looks like carbon soot out of a fireplace. That material is dead, and it analyzes. Okay, if you have a standard that's prepared the same way, it'll be a very simple process for somebody to do analysis in any commercial laboratory in the world. Doctors who are doing blood analysis, doctors doing tissue analysis, doctors doing cancer analysis can literally take tissue samples, send them to laboratories, and say, analyze this tissue, but use mononucleotic standards when you do it. And they can get these standards. They're certified by the Department of Weights and Measures, and they will be a standard that anybody will accept in a court of law. That's what we have to protect the doctors. That's what we have to protect the hospitals. But I don't want my partners to have a right to it. I want this to be available to all people in all countries, you know, through the standards of science. This is going to come to the world as science. It's not going to come to the world as a philosophy. It's not going to come to the world as a religion. It's going to come to the world as science. And these standards have to be acceptable to science. So right now there's one little piece left in this to protect everybody, including every one of these people who produce, and tell you they have ORMUS, and you say, but how much and what elements? Well, all you got to do is take some of it to a commercial laboratory. They'll take the mononucleotic standards, and they give you a report signed by them with their letterhead saying this is what analyzed to be there. Then the mystery of all this is not a negative positive, but a positive positive. It's so simple to do once you understand the material and know how to do it. I just told him a whole bunch of information he's been wanting to hear for a long time. Anyway, just so you know, anybody who cares, anybody who wants to get involved, you can send it to the Science of Spirit Foundation, P.O. Box 25709, Tempe, Arizona 85285, and full membership's $500. We accept $10 contributions, $20 contributions, but if you want a membership, it takes $500.
Is that for a year or just once?
It's a membership and it lasts forever. Now, people who
501c3.
no.
No. Okay.
They said we will not allow people to treat this as a charitable write-off.
I see.
They argued with me about this. They said, we don't understand what you're doing. We can't give you that sanctioning. I tried to get it, but they won't give it to me. Yes, it's private membership, and everybody who contributed that money initially is still on the computers. When this material is available, they will be given first notification that it is available, and they will have first rights to get in line for it. Okay? So I want people to understand that. The people haven't been forgotten that came in initially, but I need just a little bit more money. It probably take the neighborhood of probably $8,000 to $10,000 to get all this done. So it's not a major thing we need. You know, these guys gave me $200,000 or $300,000 in one check. You know, it's no big deal. They pay $3,000 or $4,000 for me to fly across the ocean. You know, it's not a question of money. It's a question of who funds the money. All right? That's why I decided I'm going to talk to the people again, the public, and let them know about this. So if anybody's interested, this is what we want to do. I mean, and this is solely to make standards that will help everybody, whether it's you, anybody had any question marks about any materials, this will end the mystery and take all the question marks out of it. All right, anybody that has any questions now, I'm going to quit talking. I'm going to let you guys ask questions. So your hand went up awful fast. All right.
I have a question for you. It's been a long time I wanted to ask you this question. You had said before you do not take these materials.
That's correct.
Do you take them now?
No.
Now, will you take them?
Oh, yeah.
You will?
Yeah.
When?
Well, you have to understand the experimenter cannot become part of the experiment. I have to stay just like everybody else in the room, or I'm not going to be believable. They're going to say, you're not like me. I've got to remain like you. I've got to understand everything you understand, and I've got to be able to communicate with you. and you get to see what happens. The very first people are not going to take it by themselves. For my protection, their protection, everybody's protection involved, we have to see to it that proper medical staff is with them as they go through the transition. I believe in a matter of days that you physically are going to change. All the DNA begins to function, and you physically are not going to be the person you were. People who knew you are not going to recognize you, just like when Christ came back, people didn't recognize who he was. And he had to prove he was him by showing his hands to him, the hold in his hands. But it appears to me right now that the science says you're going to physically change when the flux flow starts. You're going to change. And you will literally stop aging. You will telepathically know the thoughts of others that are in the room with you. You're going to be like an angel. You will have an aura that is huge around you. You will literally be able to take a sick child in a hospital, hold him in your arms for 2 or 3 minutes and place him down, and he will be cured. So even though I can't call it a medicine, because I don't want FDA and AMA and all these people get involved in this, it is going to be capable of being used as a medical or a healing properties. But initially, I don't want people to think they can do this. Eventually, people will literally be able to disappear and reappear in space-time, where they constantly think where they want to go, they can disappear and reappear. All our doctors have walked up to this point in dosages. We've been getting greater and greater amounts, and literally everybody hesitated and said, Dave, we really need to fall back a few steps and think about this, because this is going to be a profound phenomenon when it occurs, if it occurs. And if it occurs, we're in more trouble than we are if it doesn't occur. And the way they stop us, and the way we can stop dead in our tracks, is people just file suit against you, and they will bring 35 witnesses in that says it's silicon aluminum, and you have to be able to counter with 35 experts that says, no, it's gold with silicon aluminum impurity. Some people are ready, some people are not ready, some people will be ready very soon. Some people say, well, I'll stand back and let somebody else do it first, and then I'll decide if I want to do it. But it's literally a voluntary thing. But if it works the way all the ancient texts say it'll work, and if it works the way all the science says it's going to work, you know, I think that it is the stuff. It does literally look like the stuff. And I think that that gold is more valuable as the white powder than it is as yellow metal. I think when the flux flow occurs, everything changes. So to even talk about a physical impairment or something, I don't think is even going to be a factor. Because in 3 to 5 days, you're not the same person you used to be. And this is what really sobers you up real quick. It is making people like angels, but there are good angels and there are bad angels. The devil is an angel. Now, when you take this stuff, you see the angel and you converse with the angels. And you're going to find a lot of good angels, a lot of bad angels are going to try influencing you. But you will know who they are without opening your mouth. You will know. There'll be... I don't think so unless you haven't taken the material. That's right. But see, it's not for me to make that decision. And so I am going to create some devils. I'm going to create some devils. Because I have to let people have it. And there will be some good people and some bad people. And therefore, there will be a confrontation between the good and the bad. But the Bible says that there's to be a horrendous confrontation in the end times, right? Isn't that what it says? And so, you know, I'm just telling you, if you got a bunch of devils around you, you better be a good angel to know who they are, and they can't affect your thoughts. If they start projecting the thoughts into the ordinary people around you, they can sway their thinking, where they can't sway the angels' thinking. Those who have eyes to see will see, and those who have ears to hear will hear, and this is not meant for everybody. I start talking to some people about it, and their eyes just glaze over, and they say, I really got to get someplace. And I said, fine, go, get out of here, you know. But a lot of people say, wow, tell me more, you know. And you see they're just drawn to it. There never is anything neutral. You either come to it or you walk away